come and join us to speak with us first here in person. I do believe we have at least one other person on the internet. If you're out there on the internet and you would like to speak during this time, I offer you the opportunity to raise your hand as we're speaking to other folks who are present with us. Number one, Mr. Razi Zaidi. If you would come forth, you have 3 minutes, sir. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Razi Zaidi. I'm the president of Men and Women with Boots on the Grounds, the real boots on the grounds, Durham, North Carolina. Thank you, Councilman Hyman. But we believe that Gerard Green, the developer, still have the answer. If he's the long ranger in this episode. Early voting today, primary. On September the 7th, Durham solid waste and sanitation workers, along with UE 150 union, appealed to the city manager, Wanda Page, and this council body, not for a pay study, but for a raise. They demanded immediate $5,000 bonuses, that temporary workers be made permanent staff, and that employees receive justifiable pay for work outside of their official duties. However, city manager, clandestinely working with others, presented her plan calling for bonuses up to $3,000 for all city workers as a form of pacification. Let me repeat that. As a form of pacification, with the lowest paid to receive the most. It is obvious that day by day, day-to-day operations of the city government and its staff are not conscious of the problems and the dangers that our city sanitation workers are exposed to. I was in Duke University Hospital coming off the ventilators. I got up around 4:30 one morning, and the only transportation I've seen on the streets of Durham looking out the 8th floor window unit, covert unit, was the EMS, wagons, ambulance, and the sanitation workers. And I said to myself, these brothers and sisters are picking up covert virus garbage. I want to know, if you're a preacher, how can you treat people like garbage and claim that you worship God? I ask that again. How can any of you claim you worship God and treat your people like the garbage that they're picking up? We demand the $5,000 for all city workers or employees working less than $75,000. It is not happenstance that the probability of another wave of covert virus is upon us, touching upon Durham. What will you do? Will you pick it up yourself? Thank you.
We have next, and I'm going to call for at least three names. Casey Rowe, followed by Natalia Fernandez, Nicholas Parkerstone will be the next three speakers.
Hi, my name is Casey Rowe, and I've lived in Durham for 14 years. I'm here to fight for fair pay and good working conditions for Durham sanitation workers. I've been listening to these men and women speak over the past few weeks about how they love their jobs, their brotherhood, and the Durham community. When I saw the city manager's recent proposal, I was genuinely confused. The reason the community has shown up to stand with these men and women is that we see the people who are doing manual labor, doing dangerous jobs, keeping our city clean and safe. They're making the least, and these employees who have been here fighting, the sanitation workers, and I'll add the firefighters as well, who I heard speak this summer, These are the people who should be receiving the bonus. The bonuses should be given to those making $40,000 to $75,000, who showed up to do their jobs in person, even through the pandemic, who are working multiple jobs, who can't afford to live in the city where they work. This is just the beginning. These bonuses should have been raises. Temporary workers should be made permanent. And that's why I'll continue to show up and stand with these folks until they feel properly respected for their work. Thank you. And I just want to add, since I have a little time, that we've been paying attention. We see who's supporting the workers. It's the election right now. We're taking notes. I'm talking to my neighbors. I'm talking to my friends about who's standing with these workers, the people who are out there every day doing this labor, keeping our city clean and safe. Thank you.
Okay. My name is Natalia Fernandez. I've been with the Durham Police Department since 2019. The median listing price for a home in the city of Durham is $476,551, and the average rent is $1,783. That would be a paycheck and a half for me. You want the community to have a community-based policing, which would include officers living within the community and being a part of that community that they work and police in. However, these prices are something that is just not affordable. This is part of the reason that a vast majority of the officers within my department don't live in the city, and if they do, it's typically as a courtesy officer because they're given a discount on rent in return for essentially working for these apartment complexes on top of their regular duties at work. Not to mention, they typically have at least one roommate. The Durham Police Department has the reputation for the excellent training and experience that we get in such a short amount of time. And because of that, other agencies will actively approach and recruit other officers to join their agency for not only better pay, but a significant decrease in call volume and a more affordable cost of living. The staffing level from August 28th to September 17th was an average of 47%, with supplemental and slide bringing it to 63. But keep in mind, these supplemental and slide units are not working the full 12-hour shifts, so for the majority of the shift, it's 47%. Treat this as a business. If you have 50% staffing, do you expect the same quality and amount of work to be completed as if you were fully staffed? None of us are saying that we need to be rich. We just want to be paid enough to not to have to constantly worry about the next paycheck, and if we'll have anything left over without having the ability to have to work all these extra hours that should be devoted to family or just the ability to relax after an exhausting 12-hour shift. How many more officers do you think are going to leave for another agency while you wait on making a decision for giving us the deserved raise? And how many do you think is acceptable to leave before it becomes an issue you can no longer ignore?
Hey everyone, it's a tough act to follow. I'm Officer Parkerstone. I'm a recruiter for the Durham Police Department. So I see this tenfold. I'm in a recruiting event every day almost. I was in Statesville yesterday. When I'm sitting in Statesville, I get approached by other recruiters. They want to talk to me. What are you guys offering? Well, we don't offer much anymore. Our pay is $43,500 for a police officer to come in here and risk their lives, okay? They're offering, their median is around $10,000 to $15,000, sometimes $20,000 more than us. So our booth is usually the most traffic act. People want to talk to the Durham police at all times. They love us. Luckily for us, they don't bring up pay. They want to hear our cool stories. They want to hear what's Durham like. Tell me about it. Sadly, by the time they go home, they get online and apply or come to test with us, they learn how much it costs to live in Durham. They find out that they can't move in here. They can't find an area for their wife to work or have child care. So they sadly have to pull their application out. So one thing I want to make sure I make clear is what's called a highly qualified applicant. A highly qualified applicant is what we search for. As a recruiter, I'm not here at taking applications. I'm searching for the best talent for you all. Okay, I want the best police officers to serve you. I can't do that with $43,500 to sell when Greensboro offers $60, when Mebane offers in the $50s. It's not fair. I was told when I was recruited here 5 years ago, I could track my pay. Well, I missed raises for the past few years. Then I was given a 9% raise, told it was what I earned. It was told as a gift, excuse me, not what I'd earned. So with that being said, we do need this bonus, but that is not all we need. This room is just a fraction of sanitation workers, of firemen, and of police officers. The rest of them aren't here for a simple reason. They don't believe this is worth it. They believe that coming here doesn't matter. They're going to come and beg for money and not get it, be told you will get it, just be patient. They're guaranteed money out in other jurisdictions. They're guaranteed to go make $70,000, where I get offered to transfer almost every event I go to. Carrie offered me $60,000 to $70,000 to walk over there. My colleague who's been here 16 years offered $90,000. So what are your officers worth? What are your sanitation workers worth? What are your fire departments worth? That's the question. So I'll plan on coming back as much as I can and speaking, because there's a lot more recruiting I'd love to answer with you all. I do have another job outside of this to help supplement pay. I work in construction. So I'm gonna come as much as I can, but for today, if there's any questions about recruiting, I'd love to stay after and talk to you all about it and answer anything. But it is a struggle. We do need money. Thank you all. Thank you guys.
We have Mr. James Chavis, followed by Ms. Jackie Wagstaff, followed by Mr. Jonte Dunstan, and Mr. Herman Moore. Those will be our next 4 speakers. 3 minutes apiece, please.
Good afternoon. And thank you, Hyman, for being clear. But to our liars up there, thank you for wanting to continue to sit up there and do nothing. We're going to tear this, what kingdom that y'all done build up, we're going to tear it down. Federal government shall be torn down because you need to go. It's a shame and a disgrace that all our black struggle has come here today and say 3 to 4 blacks with 1 Hispanic has put us back to the 50s and 60s. That's a crying shame. And you're sitting up there saying, oh, it's okay. Well, let me tell you something. You better hope and pray that you can reach 69 and over so that you can enjoy your life. Because guess what? Federal government sitting up there now, we're going to tear you down, starting with the city manager and the city attorney, because both of y'all need to go, okay? You 2 black women disrespecting your own black race, hiding behind something. You shouldn't be hiding. We should be proud to say, Page, you really did earn that job. We black folks out here stood up and said, we wanted you there. And look what we're getting today. A disgrace and a shame. Mayor, thank you. But your mayor pro tem, Lord have mercy upon his soul. Thank you.
It's Ms. Wagstaff, Mr. Dunstan, Mr. Moore, and then it will be Ms. Burris right after that. That's the lineup.
I'm at a loss for words. Mr. Chavis did it all. He said it. But just so you know that, thank you, Councilman Hyman, for always maintaining your decorum through all of this. You maintained. And we were 10 toes down with you. You know, we never left your side. And for the pastor, CEO, Mayor Pro Tem Middleton, you say nice stuff up here all the time. You give speeches and dissertations and sermons, and we have to sit through it. But we do fact checking too. Now, you said that you've been vindicated about this crap y'all did to Councilman Hyman. You've been vindicated because the DA said no findings of collusion. Well, the last I checked yesterday at 5 o'clock when I watched that meeting on March the 23rd, y'all go back and watch it, your colleague told it all. She said that in her words, because I posted on my Facebook, so you can look at my Facebook, the whole meeting is there, just run through it. She said that Councilman Hyman should have known what was going on because we met individually and we met as a group, and you should have called us. And when did you get notice? At 10:30 at night, while she was writing your censor paperwork. Now, I don't know about you, but it sounds like collusion. Now, the DA probably didn't watch the video, but we did. We all watched the video from the meeting, the March 23rd meeting. And she told it. So you can say one thing on paper, but you can't deny the facts that that video doesn't lie. The video was actually you. And then I look at y'all all sitting up here. I guess Leo's not going to speak tonight because the polls open today. Understand, those polls open. And just like you told us a couple of weeks ago, you said, we don't like what y'all doing, go to the polls. I went this morning, I was number 4. I voted against her, I voted against him, and I posted it on Facebook, and I said, anybody but them. You got 12 people running for council, you got 9 running for the mayor's seat. You can vote for any of them as long as you don't vote for them too. Vote for any of them. That's the way it is. Because we're going to show you. I'm just, those firefighters and those people and some of these sanitation workers were threatened if they come down here today, they would be fired. They were threatened. So at this point, you don't have to come down here. Go to one of them 5 polling locations and exercise your right to get rid of them and get what you need. That's all you got to do. Mr. Chavis, thank you.
I would like to say good afternoon, Mayor O'Neill. I want to say City Council, but I'm going to have to call it as it is. I'm going to have to say good afternoon, City Management, Council Management. And I also would love to say thank you to my brothers, to the men of this community who showed us that no matter what, if their back is against the wall, they get the job done. These men have showed us. But now, I'm not going to direct this because what has been said enough. Now, I'm going to turn this into not being personal, but this is business. Now I have to switch hats. Excuse me. Now, it's been brought to us that this is, like I said, this is a business. This is business, this is not personal. Now, one thing that I do know is that when our workers' morale is down and our workers are stressed out, that reflects the customers. And when that reflects the customers, then it reflects the management. So therefore, this is directed at you, Ms. Wanda Page. As any type of boardroom meeting, any type of management that is not doing what they're supposed to do, there's time for a new direction. And like I said, this is not personal, this is business. And right now, you have shown us that you have lost the confidence in the community. You have lost the confidence in the city workers, and therefore you have shown us that you cannot give us great direction for this city. And honestly, you have a lot of us scared for the 2024 year that's coming up. Now, what I would like to see, Ms. Page, is your resignation at the end of this month. And you're not the only person who needs their resignation. We need your resignation, Kimberly, because you need to be reported to the board. As a city attorney, I would expect more. But I knew as working in the Durham County courthouse, we was able to run circles around you because your paperwork is not actually flawed. You're actually flawed. Now, I am mostly grateful for the Most High and the creator of all creation because he knows justice. And he knew that our sister was innocent. I came to my sister a long time ago. And when I used to speak and work for everybody's campaign, before I started joining this political fight, nobody would speak to me. But Monique, that night she came, she was the only one who came and spoke to me, introduced herself. And I warned Ms. Monique what this council was going to do. I gave her the security assessment to tell her to watch yourself, because if you don't go along with their show, they're going to turn against you. And a part of me think that I jinxed it. But sister, I'm going to let you know that one thing I am, and Mayor O'Neill, I may need 45 seconds of this, and it'll be quick. I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's protector. I am my family's provider. I am my community's leader. And on my watch, nobody will be bullied. Brother Leo, what's going on with this brother? Allow the voters to make the decision. Please. This man is getting harassed. That needs to stop. Now, I talked to Brother Leo, and me and the other brother, Marshall, we was upset that the fact that you're going against one of our brothers, and we all should be united together, because I will be my brother's keeper. And I declare on this day, anybody that messes with Leo,
Thank you, Mr.
anybody that
Dunn.
interferes with anybody on this campaign, you would deal with me and my crew.
Mr.
Thank you for this. Hey, now I can put my community hat back on. Business is over.
Speakers should not be addressing us.
You want to tell them that?
Nope.
Okay.
You're the presiding chair.
Mr. Moore, be followed by Ms. Burris, followed by Ms. Hannah Hawkins, followed by Sherry Zan Rosenthal, Sarah Sharp, and Chris Benjamin will be last. Now, what's the rule you want me to read?
I didn't want you to read. I was just noting the rule for your knowledge. The speakers will refrain from
Okay.
making comments of a personal
So
nature
the
regarding people.
attorney has pointed out to me that the rules require the speakers will refrain from making comments of a personal nature regarding others. So noted for the rule. All right, Mr. Moore, you have 3 minutes.
First, giving honor to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who is head of my life. All these people that have spoke before me have pretty much said a lot of what I was going to say, so I don't have to say a whole lot now, because it's been said. So I'm going to go straight to the point. From what I understand, the city was just certified for their bond rating in the last month. Am I right? Am I right? If I'm not, tell me that I'm not. You already been certified in the last month. And there shouldn't be another evaluation until next year. Now there's $18.3 million remaining above reserve for the year from the year 2023, correct? Correct? Okay. There's also $5.4 million in money budgeted for salaries and benefits that was not spent because of vacancies. You do the math. 18 million and 5 million is 23 million. So you got $23.7 million somewhere. We don't know. Our audit would fix it. We don't know where it's at, but our audit would fix it and find it, wherever it's at. But I know that we're not getting it. The mayor, I'm sorry, not the mayor. The city manager gave her proposal for $3,000, slap in the face. It's not to say that we don't want it, but we deserve the $5,000 that we asked for, and we're here to try to get it because we want it. We deserve it. Us, the firemen, the policemen, all of these city workers, we deserve the $5,000 that we asked for. Not going to speak about the raises. We want them. We need them. They are more important than the bonus because that's something that we can keep and take with us. No, that's not on the table right now, but we need to have consistent annual raises, which we're not having. You said that you give them every year. You don't, because I know 2 or 3 years we didn't get no raises. Anybody else in here know that? So don't say that we did when we didn't. So all we're asking for right now is that you go into the reserve funds and give us what we asked for, the $5,000, which should only cost the city maybe $10 million, under $10 million, to pay the workers that's in question. Can we get that? That's what we want. I don't know how you look at us and can live with yourself and not treat us right. Just because we're garbage collectors, us men and women, don't make us any less than anybody else in this room. We are just as educated. A lot of us do our job, yeah. We're educated, but we're doing the job that we do is a service. It's a service to the community. And it's important because if it wasn't, you wouldn't have hired them contractors to come in and get it when we didn't. So it's a service that needs to be done.
Thank you, Mr. Moore.
And we do it every day.
Thank you, Mr. Moore.
Yeah, we worked all the way through COVID, didn't miss a beat. Every day. We were there.
Thank you, Mr. Moore.
And we're going to continue. Oh, my time is up. Well, enough was said. You got the picture.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Ms. Burris. Ms. Burris.
Say this while I'm walking, because y'all know me by now. I'm going to dedicate this all to y'all because this has been in my spirit all week long before this mess started. I don't have to beat none of you down because I'm a praying woman. I ain't no joke. I need you. You need me. You're all a part of God's body. Stand with me. Agree with me. You're all a part of God's body. This is His will, that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. Hey, you are important to me. I need you to survive. Now, this is the part. You pray for me. I pray for you. I love you. I need you to supply. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to supply. It is His will that every need be supplied. Now, y'all recorded that. You are important to me. Hallelujah. I need you to survive. Hey, I need you, and you need me. Now, I've got a few more minutes. Now, I could preach quicker than that. Hyman, I've been with you. You know, I don't think we realize what it means to stick together and be real people. Just be who you are, folks. This is about the election. I'm like Jackie. Let the vote speak for itself. Stop being in these cliques, these organizations. Be who you are. As you see me, this is who I am. If I stand before a city council and sing, good God Almighty, what you think I'll do for the city? Y'all have a good day.
We have Miss Hannah Hawkins, Sherry Zan Rosenthal, Miss Sarah Sharp, and Mr. Chris Benjamin, and I think that will conclude the speakers that I have here in person. We do have someone on the internet as well. Thank you.
Hi. Good afternoon, Mayor O'Neill, Mayor Pro Tem, and members of the City Council. My name's Hannah. I'm a resident of Durham, a small business owner, a member of the Quaker community, and I've been a proud union member since 2016. I'm not paid by anyone to organize in Durham, and I think that's important to say because I'd like to convey that in addition to city workers and union members, many people turning out in support of the city workers' struggle are private citizens who want to make sure Durham stays a progressive, people-first city that leads by example. We presented you with a letter of support from
Ms. Hawkins, if you could back up just a little bit from the mic, we're getting a little bit of feedback from you.
We presented you with a letter of support from several Durham small businesses, and I'd like to point out that these signers represent all sectors of the Durham workforce, private and public. Represented here are teachers, nurses, home health care workers, artists, barbers and technicians, doctors, psychiatrists, graduate students, small business owners, farmers, restaurant owners, interior designers, architects, librarians, woodworkers, tech workers, construction workers, city workers, and even real estate investment property owners. And please forgive the late addition, but I need to add to the list that you have, and we'll correct this on the digital copy, that I reached out to Preeti Was from Cheney Raleigh, who's opening a Durham location in the old Jack Tar building this fall, and she signed the letter this morning in support of our effort. Other flagship Durham small businesses who signed the letter include the Durham 9th Street Bakery, Phoebe Lawless, Pine State Flowers, Wonder Puff, Bright Black, Gibson Girl, Manifest Skate Shop, Gear Street Garden, and more. These businesses bring people to Durham, and they also know the services of the city workers are critical to their success. Together, we're asking you to do the right thing and take care of the people who continue to make Durham a safe place to live, work, and play. Other organizations represented by the signatures on the petition are Duke University Medical Center, Branches School, the Scrap Exchange, the Radical Healing Center, our many mutual aid communities, and members of several various faith communities. While there are hundreds of comments left by supporters on the petition you received in your inboxes that I'd urge you to spend time reading, I wanted to share a particularly poignant comment from Dr. Rochelle Gold, a professor at North Carolina Central University. She says, "Dear Mayor O'Neill and City Council persons, I've been living in Durham since June of 2002, and I teach English composition and literature in CCU, where I've worked for 16 years. I teach my students at Central about standing up for what they believe in, as I teach them about social justice heroes and civil rights leaders living now and those from the past. Ironically, just 5 days ago, I shared with my students Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech that he gave the night before he was assassinated in Memphis in 1968, where he was speaking to support the sanitation workers there who were striking to protest unsafe conditions and unfair treatment that led to workers being killed on the job. I'm writing to support the Durham sanitation workers and the stormwater workers who are being mistreated, underpaid, overworked, and the local UE 150 union. We just celebrated Labor Day, and it's disgraceful that Durham does not pay its workers better when there's a large surplus in the budget.
Ms.
Be
Hawkins,
mindful
if you
of the
could
intersection of
read really
racism
fast. Your
and
time is up,
classism as you
ma'am.
consider how to meet workers' demands. Most of the sanitation and stormwater workers are African-American men and women who have historically been exploited and marginalized. Please meet their demands and make Durham a city that puts its money where its mouth is. Treat workers with respect. We all need dignity, safe working
Thank you, Ms.
conditions, and
Hawkins.
decent wages with the high cost of living. The night before his assassination, April 1968, Dr. King told a group of striking sanitation workers in Memphis, "We've got to give ourselves to the struggle until the end. Nothing would be more tragic than to stop at this point. We've got to see it through. Justice for all city workers." Thank you.
All right, Ms. Rosenthal, can y'all hear me can you hear me out there? Okay, so I'm just being ignored. It's what it is, but that's okay. All right, Ms. Rosenthal, we're gonna ask you to see if you can keep it to 3 minutes.
Hi, my name is Zan Rosenthal. I'm going to face y'all because I really don't have a lot of faith right now in the 4-member voting majority here. And I'm really wanting to address you and the folks at home who are watching this meeting. And I want to say a little bit about the facts underlying why we have the hollowing out of the city's workforce that you've heard about. You've heard about police staffing that is 47% on average. Your 911 call center has not met minimum national standards in over 4.5 years and has a 40% vacancy rate. If you call 911 today, you may get no answer, or you may get put on hold. That is shocking. And our city, in this way, is in really big trouble. When I began the run for council, it was because I really cared and I thought we were in trouble. As I've learned more, I am shocked by the degree to which our staffing has really been decimated, is not too big a word for it. And so, for example, Public Works is said to have had 177 employees at the beginning of COVID, and now is said to have less than 50. Now, that's an astonishing thing. That's over 60%. I have not verified that, but we can say for sure it's over 50%. So your streets are in bad condition. A lot of money is being wasted on outside contractors for things that used to be done internally by the city. And I believe that you've been having trouble paying your bills. I understand why you would need a bonus. But I'm here to say that really the right thing to do would be to take the 2019 pay plan that was suspended in 2020, that had a full pay study before it was adopted in 2019, and to make all of the workers whole for that 2019 pay plan with back pay, with putting workers back to where they should have been, the line, the amount of money that they should have been making if the 2019 pay plan had never been frozen. And then you should get a cost of living increase on top of that, maybe the 6 to 8% that the council has already passed. Maybe that's the cost of living, but maybe it's not. So you've heard from the city council that their first line of defense was to say, well, after July 1st, it's too late. The budget has been adopted. But I'm here to tell you that budget amendments are commonplace. The budget is not cast in stone. It is not the 10 Commandments. And the money is available. So the Local Government Commission requires 12% of the city's budget be set aside. The City of Durham, in prudence, decides that 16.7%, 4.74 cents more, needs to be set aside. But your city is holding on to over $32 million more than that. So there is no excuse. The City Council should unfreeze the pay plan, make you all whole.
Thank you, Mr. Rosenthal. Ms. Sharp, followed by Mr. Benjamin.
Hi, my name is Sarah Sharp, and I'm a volunteer and citizen here today to read an open letter from 58 small business owners here in Durham about paying our city workers. From concerned small business owners in Durham, dear City Council, we are a group of small business owners who love Durham and all of her people. We love that Durham is a progressive, inclusive, and forward-thinking city. We appreciate Durham's rich history of civil rights, the creativity, ingenuity, and beautiful communities that make Durham a great place to put down roots. Not only are we proud Durham residents and citizens of North Carolina, but business owners who work hard to contribute to the cultural identity and economic prosperity of Durham. We cannot imagine doing business anywhere else. Durham is our home, and we want to do our part to see it continue to grow and flourish. While we are so grateful for the incredible resources and opportunities here, we are currently frustrated and concerned at the lack of willingness on the part of City Council to support Durham's essential city workers in their struggle for fair pay, back pay, and full-time positions. City workers are the backbone of Durham. We simply would not be able to do what we do without the services that these people provide. While we are aware that the promised step pay plan in place for city workers put on hold during COVID-19 has resumed, the current pay structure for city employers does not reflect the cost of inflation. We know that some city workers cannot afford to continue to live in Durham because of skyrocketing rent and have moved their families outside of city limits. We also know that many city workers don't make enough annually to support their families. They have taken on part-time jobs to supplement their income. For a city like Durham, voted 5th in the nation for small business growth, we find this unacceptable. If the city wants to profit from the influx of industry giants like Apple and Google, which we surely do, we need to ensure that the people of Durham who make it a beautiful and safe place to live and work remain our highest priority. The city vision of Durham reads, Durham will be the leading city in providing an excellent and sustainable quality of life. In order for that to be true, we are asking that you immediately provide $5,000 bonuses and back pay to all city workers, hire enough new workers to fill shortages in solid waste, public works, fire, and other departments, and pay workers for all work done outside of city worker job titles. Additionally, we hope that you will make a good faith commitment to implement raises in next year's budget to reflect inflation and the cost of living in Durham. As people who Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm back. I'm excited and thankful that we're revisiting something that we used to get was a longevity bonus. However, they took that away. It's like affirmative action on the table. It's away. Number two, the city, the citizens, the community, they love and support us, and we love and support them. I have a bunch of signs that I took, put in my truck, and I told them to be patient. We're working through this process, and they said, whatever you need, we're there to support you guys. So I said, thank you. Number three, when I looked at the MSW Journal, the waste industry is a $91 billion industry, may it be government or private. Number four, the fourth thing is, this is the fourth most dangerous job in the country. We put our lives out there every day. Number five, I would love for all my solid waste and sanitation workers to stand up, as well as all the essential workers in this room that provide a service. Give them a round of applause. We stand in solidarity. Thank you. We stand in solidarity with all the city essential workers. We just want to be compensated and treated fair. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
We now turn to the internet for Mr. Roger Lafferty. Mr. Lafferty, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You have 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Madam Mayor, City Council, and everyone who's here watching and listening. My name is Roger Lafferty, and I have been with the Durham Police Department for 15 years. I'm currently a sergeant on patrol, and I'm also a board member with the Durham Fraternal Order of Police. I am also a City of Durham resident, and I vote. I remember recently when Mayor O'Neill came to do a ride-along with my squad on a day shift, and I can't tell you enough how we appreciated you coming out, meeting us, and experiencing the job that we do every single day. I know when you went to sit for briefing with night shift, you were very surprised by there only being a couple of officers sitting at the briefing table. That's literally what we've been dealing with for some time now, and it's quickly getting worse. The staffing and lack of officers is by far the worst I've ever seen, and I feel like it's reaching a crisis when it comes to staffing. This new generation of workers are going where the money is, and unfortunately, it's not here in Durham right now. Last time I checked, we have approximately 146 vacancies within the police department. 146. And good officers are continuing to leave. We cannot continue to wait this out. The Fraternal Order of Police sent out a survey recently, and of the 123 officers who responded, 39 said they were already applying elsewhere. I can't really blame them when we start off at a little over $43,000 a year when the Durham Sheriff's Department, Greensboro, Knightdale, Wake Forest Police start out between $52,000 and $56,000. That's a $10,000+ difference. Recently, on August 31st, there were 3 homicides in broad daylight within a very short period of time of each other. 2 of them happened just a couple minutes apart, and we're literally just a couple blocks away from each other. If we didn't have specialized units or additional staffing working that day, these casualties would have absolutely crippled the city. The residents waiting for police in other parts of the city would have also suffered waiting for police response, as well as other emergency responders who are already helping the other victims. I really feel like Chief Andrews is doing everything she can for us, but it's going to take much more than just her. I'm urging City Council to do the right thing and reconsider their numbers and appropriately compensate our police officers, firefighters, solid waste, and all other city workers appropriately to keep them working for Durham before they go elsewhere. Like one of the solid waste workers said recently in the last session, Durham should be a place where other cities look to see what we're doing differently. And really, I don't feel like that's happening right now. My biggest fear right now is that as the staffing continues to dwindle down, one of our officers, your officers, are going to get hurt or killed going from one dangerous call to the next. Every single day. I pray it doesn't happen, but it's certainly a realistic fear. Again, I'm asking you to all to do the right thing and make Durham a competitive city again. Thank you for your time.
Madam Clerk, do you see any other hands raised? If you will call that person. Name. Maria Stevenson. Ms. Stevenson, if you can hear me, ma'am, you would have 3 minutes. Ms. Stevenson? Ms. Stevenson, can you hear me, ma'am?
Madam Mayor, Ms. Stevenson went offline.
All right, thank you. I believe those are all the speakers that we have for this afternoon. We will now begin with our